Student loans feel like a huge burden of debt on your shoulders that you just want to get rid of. Paying it off as fast as possible might seem like the responsible move, but over time it can actually cost you tens of thousands of dollars. My name is Justin and I'm a full-time engineer, yet I still only make minimum payments on my student loans. Today I'm going to break down the debt and explain to you how you can save thousands and thousands of dollars over time. Number one, we're going to start with debt. We're always given the idea that debt was bad and we want to pay it off as fast as possible, yet this isn't always the case. Understanding how debt works can either save you or cost you thousands of dollars each year. So today I'm going to give you an example with my debt. This is my student loans. I've already paid off some of it, but currently I owe about $31,000. In Canada, our student loans are broken down into two components. There's a federal portion and there's a provincial portion. In my case, I live in Ontario, so that would be my provincial loan. Federal student loans are provided from the government of Canada and generally cover most of your student loan. They're also given at a 0% interest rate. Provincial student loans are provided by your province. Again, in my case, it's Ontario, and they're given at whatever rate that province is. In our case, it's 5.54%. So why is this important? Interest rates determine the cost of borrowing money. So for example, if my friend gave me $10,000, I could give him $10,000 back in 1 year. If he charges interest, maybe I give him $1,001 or $1,100, and that would either be $100 for borrowing for that year or $1 for borrowing for that year. Generally, it's a percentage of the total amount you borrow. In case, the federal government gives you a student loan at 0% interest rate. This is a very key point. This means that you can either pay off that $30,000 now, or you can pay it off in 15 years and you would still be paying the exact same amount. On the other hand, for example, if there's a 5.54% interest rate on this $30,000 loan, in 15 years it would be about $60,000. So that means over that course of time, I would have paid an extra $30K just because I took more and more time to pay it. So how does this affect you? So by not paying off the full amount that you're gonna pay, you can actually invest the difference and use this to get more profit over time. I'm gonna show you an example and it's gonna make things a little clearer for you. Let's say at the end of each month, we have $500 that we can put back to our student loans. This could be more in your case, or it could be less. In my case, my student loan amount is $210 per month, and it's gonna take me 149 months to pay back, which is about 12 years. So the key part is that the federal portion is at 0% interest rate. That means this $31,000 in 15 years will also be $31,000. That means I have to pay about $210 per month to my student loan. Let's say that I want to put $500 a month to my student loan. Instead of putting all $500 and paying it off right away, I can actually delay these payments by doing the minimum payment, which is $210, and investing the other $290. If I invested this other $290 at a 7% interest rate, which is the annual stock market average return, if we did this over the course of my remaining student loan term, which is 12.4 years, we would result in $69,000 in profit. What does this mean? This means that at the end of your student loan term, not only will you have your complete student loan paid off in 12.4 years, but you'll also have an extra $69,000, almost $70,000 that you can spend on whatever you want. But to be clear, I want you to understand that this only applies to low interest student loans, not credit cards, high interest debts, and not if you're not investing the difference. Let's put this into different scenarios. Case one, I pay off this $30,000 today. My money's gone and nothing changes. I pay no interest. Case two, I pay minimum payments over the span of this 12 years. I would only be paying $210 per month, and at the end of it, my student loans would be paid off and I would have an additional $70,000 to spend. The key is that you have to invest the difference. If you are not investing the difference, then this will not make any effect on you. However, because it is a 0% interest rate student loan, you can also just leave it and you will end up paying less in the long run. Inflation is a rate as things get more expensive over time. By simply delaying your payment to a later date, we can use inflation to our advantage. This is because over time, inflation will cause your income to increase, yet the amount of debt that you owe will not change. For example, in 2010, the average minimum wage was about $10 per hour. In 2025, the average wage is $17.75 an hour. This means to pay off that same $30,000, it would only take 1,700 hours in 2025 compared to 3,000 hours in 2010. This means to pay off that same $30,000 loan, it would take only 1,700 hours compared to 3,000 hours in 2010. How big of a difference is this? To compare, that means it would be almost a 6-month difference if you worked every single day just to pay off that additional amount of the loan. So how does this affect you and what can you do? In Canada, as of April 1st, 2023, the interest rate is permanently 0% on all federal student loans, so that means no action is needed on your end. For the Ontario student loan, the interest rate is the prime rate of Canada plus 1%. So currently it's 5.45%. Mathematically, it may be better to invest this because on average, you get a 7% return, which is better than 5.45. However, you might want to just pay this off to have the peace of mind. In my case, my provincial loan was about $2,000 to $3,000, which isn't too much, so I decided to pay it off just so I can be interest-free from my debts. Just something to note, if you do want to pay off the provincial part of your loan, you cannot do this online. You have to physically get a check and mail it into the government and then have a note saying, I want to pay off the provincial portion with this check. So just to conclude this video, I'm not ignoring my student loans. I'm using this $30,000 to my leverage. Essentially, you can think of this $30,000 as a 0% loan, which you will never be able to find anywhere else. It's way better to use this money and invest it elsewhere than just to pay it off directly because, for example, if you wanted to buy a house, if you wanted to buy a car, you're gonna have to pay interest on those items. Key part is make minimum payments at low interest and invest the extra cash. Over time, that's gonna save you thousands and thousands of dollars. Key note, this only works with low interest debt. So if this video helped you out and helped you save some money, please like and subscribe below. Also comment growth below if you wanna see more content like this, or if you wanna find out ways that you can invest your money to help them multiply outside of this.